What's up, everybody? Welcome in. We're gonna listen to Afro Think Tank today. One of my favorite YouTubers. Um, he's a pretty smart guy. He was a Marine. Well versed on issues affecting the country, especially African American issues, economics, just culture in general. And I want to hear what he has to say about this subject. This is why African Americans are thriving while European Americans are crying about the economy. That's something I've said on here, got a lot of hate for. I couldn't care less. It's just a fact. I don't see anybody crying about the economy besides white people. And it's just funny to me. You voted for Donald Trump. I know not all white people voted for Trump, but the GOP is a white party. It's 90% plus white. So you voted for Donald Trump, and when we told you don't do that, the smart people who are educated try to tell you don't do that, and now you want to bitch and complain because he destroyed your life? We told you that was going to happen. FAFO, bitch. Anyways, let's hear what a black man has to say about the situation where we find ourselves in.
What's going on, everybody? This is
Zero sympathy for any Trump voters. I don't care. I hope you, honestly, I mean, it's worse than that. I'm actively hoping you suffer because you're fucking idiotic.
Afro Think Tank, and today I want to talk about how African Americans
Stupid decisions, stupid people got to suffer consequences, man. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. The world needs to make sense. Intelligent people who actually work hard deserve to thrive. And idiots who go out and vote for something like that rapist, you deserve to get fucked.
are doing just fine, while European Americans are suffering, right, during this crisis, right, this economic crisis, this food
crisis. Ha ha ha. I'm doing better than ever.
Things online as Europeans, European Americans are really telling us how they're struggling in America.
Who's struggling?
And I'm listening to their struggles, right? Because they're finally talking, and we're watching. I'm like, okay, you know what's going on with you, right? We see that they're having issues, you know, as far as.
Let me tell you something right off the bat early. I am going to be pausing frequently to get my thoughts, and if that offends you, honestly, you know how it goes. You can kiss my whole ass and my asshole. I don't give a fuck about my speech, my language. I say what I want to say on this channel because I run this show. I built this channel. You people never done anything for me besides bitch and complain and say racist bullshit to me. And so I speak my mind here, and I will go off as long as I please or as short as I please. I got a good brain. I can articulate, unlike a lot of you people. Anyways, but man, anyways, just to get that off my chest early, so you understand what this is. This video might get kind of lengthy because I have an attention span and a good brain I can use.
Hunger or whatnot, right? And I'm starting to truly believe that these guys are really,
kids these days can't even fucking read. You're so fucking stupid.
In their houses starving, right? Like you guys are
right?
like
Missing
in
meals,
your houses
huh?
with no food.
I get 3 square meals a day.
American, I couldn't even fathom.
What about you?
Even during the time of fathom. So I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to take some time to explain to you what's happening in the African
white assholes talk all the shit you want about me. I'm living way better than you ever live. You know what the funny about? I'm living like a white person thinks they're supposed to live in this country. And now the ironic part, poor ass white people, you living like niggas.
And you're used to it. African Americans are aware that this is something that we do systematically within our community, which is African cultural consistency, and actually has nothing to do with religion. Even though we use religious organizations to do the thing that we do, which is very communal, and this is why we are okay. This is something that we do in the African American community, and you will see that every African community does this. This is something Africans do
too much.
communally by default, automatically, no matter what culture we are a part of. And it's one of the reasons why I don't like it when people always say, oh, black people are not united, we don't work together as a community, and we use other groups as examples of why it is how we should be like them. Like we say, oh, look at the Jews, look at what they're doing. Oh, look at the Latinos, look what they're doing. And look at the Europeans.
Black people actually have families we can rely on. White people they like individualism to the point of isolation. Morons.
Look what we're doing. Listen, African people are the only people on the planet that put so much pressure on ourselves to unify and be communal because we are naturally like that. Latinos never claim to be unified unless they're attacking black people.
Unity comes from
they're
Africa.
smelling themselves. But then come to find out,
the concept of unity comes from Africa.
Latinos are anything but unified, and they got the same problems we have. They're just in denial about them. Asian people also are not unified. They have the same problems, but they don't like to speak up about them.
Asians want to be white.
Everybody waits for us to speak out about a general problem, then they jump on the bag with it. Europeans have never been unified, right? And you can even go on white European Twitter, white European TikTok, white European YouTube, and you will see them right now as white supremacy breaks up and all the white factions within white supremacy or the white dominated society both battle for the hearts and minds of their individuals and for their survival. You can see that they've always been fractured. They've never been unified other than to exploit Africans and Asians for their own benefit, because they don't build anything on their own. They steal from other people.
That's pretty smart, huh?
What they've been doing culturally. You go through all history, that is the history of the European, to steal from others to take, because they come from a place of non-abundance.
Let me tell you something, you broke ass, insecure, uneducated Europeans. You sit around all day not enriching yourself, we're thinking about black people all the time, thinking we're out here struggling or we're stupid or uneducated. You gotta understand something. There's a lot of black men just like me and Afro think tank out here who have been working for decades to turn ourselves into intellectual beasts, because we see the way the world is, how we get no respect. You wonder why we're so braggadocious? Oh yeah, we're gonna get our fucking flowers one day, whether you want to give them to them or not, give it to us or not. Well, one day you might have a chance. You might have a fucking choice to feel us. You will feel us. We're coming. We're inevitable.
Of scarcity, therefore they become
on this planet one day, black men and black women.
More aggressive hominid.
The last shall be first, the first shall be last.
It's that culture that has permeated within the European community, as everybody is on an individual basis. Everybody's looking out for just them individually. As when
what did I just say?
Happens, like,
what did I just say? There was no pre-watch on this. I just said it. I know your culture better than you know it, white people. I know white people better than they know themselves, and that's why they hate me. I'll tell you about yourself. You ain't much. You love individualism to the point of isolation. You complain and cry that you have no friends or family to talk to. But you want to be an individual, right? See where that gets you.
Like recently, we have a lot of white European males with mental illness committing domestic terrorist activity, right?
You love terrorism and shooting and beating your wife and raping
everybody, as far as they're concerned, on an individual basis, because Europeans don't have a high trust factor with anybody. They've always been in small little populations. They've always fought each other for the little
Europeans have always fought each other. Never had unity.
In America, the only
Europeans
place
have never had unity. Even the European Union is breaking up. The African Union is doing great. The Europeans have never had unity. All you've ever done throughout your history is fight each other and kill each other and try to take each other's land. That's all the history of Europe.
People who were not rich kings, dukes, and duchesses ever had an opportunity to own land, to be owners, to be landowners, to own themselves, because Europeans have been slaves by another name via land as serfs their entire existence into America. So that's why Europeans lost their mind when they came to America, because it was the first opportunity they could own anything as a group of people if they weren't like rich duchesses or something like that, right? But what's happening is, because of the transatlantic slave trade and how African Americans ended up in America, most African people live in dense populations within the city centers of America, within the exchange districts of America, within the export-import areas, the business districts of America, because we were the first commodity, the first product, the first workers, the first cog in the machine of what we call America, right? Therefore, we had to geographically be located in those areas, right? Because we were producing the crops.
The first product of American capitalism, human beings.
So it just so happens that we're all still there. All the plantations are, for the most part, that produce all the money, that produce all the rich white Europeans and suits and their families and their descendants, all on the East Coast, southern portion of America, because they had to get those goods from the interior of America out into the rest of the world, right? That's why all poor Europeans, for the most part, in the Midwest, because they were sent out there to work to pull those resources to bring to the coast in order for those rich white men in suits to export to other countries, right? Capitalism. Transatlantic slave trade was the beginning of capitalism, aka slavery.
What did I just fucking say? Like I just said, motherfucker. People tell me I don't know history. You're a fool. I minored in history. I just said that. The first commodity, the first product traded on the open American capitalistic market was human beings. Nobody wants to talk about that. Black human beings, black bodies, not whites. Whites were never enslaved or oppressed in America.
Years from now, they're going to look at this era as a continuation from the transatlantic slave trade. Employees will be looked at as slaves.
Slavery is over, asshole.
Slaves, indentured servants.
Back in the day, just like 50 fucking years ago, a black man speaking like this, I would have been hung up and quartered. I would have been shot. Now I can speak my fucking mind just like a white guy. You can't do a goddamn thing about it. But cry.
employees, the industrial revolution, all this will be looked at as
I'm going gun now too.
Education will be looked at as a Ponzi scheme, and slavery as you had to pay and go into debt in order to gain a skill, in order to work for the same corporations. All of this, we're all slaves. It's just that they relented on some of the physical violence and replaced it with mental and psychological and economic hardships. That's all they did. They just sanitized it and included more people within the slavery capitalistic apparatus, which we find ourselves in, right? But because of all of that, black people live in high density areas, while white people, the majority of white people, live in sparse country, rural areas. They live out in places where there are institutions of church, and all those things are a little sporadic, right? So white people don't live as densely populated within America, right? Unless they live within the black community, right? Within the urban areas.
Yeah, all these white people in rural areas, dumbing themselves down.
Right? Talking, he's trying to get into the trash can, right?
With no unity.
He's a little bad. Pedro. He's Mexican, by the way. He's Mexican dog, right? So African Americans live.
Rural people are the dumbest, most uneducated, most hateful, most racist, most useless fucking people in this country. And if you're a rural person, listen, that offends you, I couldn't care less. Because half my family is rural. I know you people better than you know yourselves. You ain't got much going on. You shouldn't even be allowed to vote. You should have to earn that shit.
In very dense populated areas. So we have the ability to take advantage of that and be as communal as we are. We're very communal, right? So what's happening right now, which I say is African cultural consistency, is all...
This is going to be an angry video. Why the hell do rural people get to vote when you're living out on the outskirts of your town? You don't even know what the hell's going on. You barely have internet at all. Some people still have dial-up, but you get to vote and make decisions on the federal government that affect my life as a real fucking human being in this country? Screw you. Educate your fucking self. Then you should get to vote. Morons.
All of the institutions that are owned and operated by African people.
I don't give a fuck about poverty.
Right now,
I don't give a flying fuck about poverty. You can tell me, those people, they don't have access to the resources, they can't educate themselves. Yes, you can. I'm a black man in America, started nothing just like everybody else. Actually, I started with less than everybody else. So I'm a black man. Why am I so educated? If I can do it, a rural fucking white person can, with nothing oppressing them, holding them back. Don't make excuses. Make it right. Do something. Show me something. I'm not impressed by white people. White skin has never impressed me. I'm like, okay, cool. Great. You have less melanin. What can you do?
Operating in, when it comes to food, are now operating in their giving capacity, which I like to say.
Based on lies.
Right? So every time there is hardship, we see hardship coming as African people in America. Because
there's nothing
the things
superior
that
about
white people in America are experiencing right now,
can't even season your food.
Right, the food
insecurity,
all the things that they're finally feeling as white supremacy, the veil of white supremacy, the mask of white supremacy and white superiority, and the mechanisms that come along with it, the benefit package that they had as being members of the white club, right? The white club community are eroding or have expired, right? So now they're left with their own individualism.
You gotta show me
left
something.
By pulling themselves up from their bootstraps and tying their own shoes, right? But in the black community,
all my life I've heard pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And now that gets turned inward to you. Let's see what white people can do. Let's see if white people can pull themselves up by their bootstraps. See if they have the inner strength they always talk about. You have to find out how real life is.
Because we weren't afforded all the opportunities, or when we were giving opportunities from the government, like the greatest welfare distribution ever, which when they gave all that land to those white folks in America that's currently losing all their farms, right? All those assets these white people.
Why do you think white people own so much farmland now? You think they earned that? No, it was stolen from black people and given to them to start homesteads and all that bullshit across this country. White people are the biggest welfare cases in the history of this country. Everything was given to you. I'm glad I'm black. I always say it, man, I'm glad I'm not white. Because having to struggle and actually having to work hard and turn yourself into something is a great feeling. And because nobody can ever take that away from me. And now I'm not sitting around worrying, man, what am I going to do? How am I going to feed myself or my family? I don't have to worry about any of that bullshit.
The resources that white people have gained
over the years from
native populations and Africans, right? All that stuff is either been burnt out, they used it up, or they sold it, or whatever. They no longer have those riches, even though
You needed somebody to talk down to you like this. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, man. White people need a reality check. You're not special just because you're white. And listening to little assholes like Nick Fuentes or whatever is going to make you wind up isolated and ostracized, which is where you need to be, honestly. You're not fit to live among us.
The most of the money accumulates in certain areas, so it would seem that white people are doing good. But that's just a few white people. Most of them are not doing very well, right? But what black people do, because we've always had to deal with this kind of discrimination on a systematic wide area, we had to create our own economies.
Yep.
Right? We rarely
create our own economies.
We have created our own
white economies. What white people have, it's not
these type of situations. Same thing happened during the Great Depression. We did the same thing then. And
Robin killing it, stealing.
What we do as African people in America is that all of our institutions, all of our churches, whether you believe in Christianity or not, it's still an institution
that church run as Africans,
and that's prominent within the African American community, right? All of our churches, whether they're doing it because they're competing with other churches, whether they're doing it out the kindness of the heart, whether they're doing it because they need their tax write-off, all of the churches start to collect and gather food from all of the food pantries, all of the institutions and networks they have connected with, as far as being a nonprofit organization, and they gather food. They do this early. They do this very, very early. And we have constant and continuous food drives within our black community. And just so happens within the black community, just like in Africa, there's a church on every corner, right? Mm-hmm. And just there's always politics within religion, right? And if one
you're always going to find in black neighborhoods is a church.
Giving away food, guess what? Monkey see, monkey do. The next church better be doing the same thing, especially when they're competing for members, right? So a chain reaction starts in the African American community where all the churches start to use all their resources and they start pulling in everything all the food from within the area, within their institution, and they put their money, finally, that money that the community has been doling out to these individuals.
The usual suspects.
When it comes to food, they do at least sometimes crack open that goddamn purse and they start purchasing things for the community. So right now, like in my community, there are hundreds of churches right now with networks in full operation distributing food right now to the African American community. Everybody has an aunt right now. Everybody has an auntie right now that already has the schedules of every church and what day they're giving away free food. And they are driving right now because they're retired, they have nothing to do, and they're collecting food, and they're driving to their sister's house. They're driving to their niece's house. They're driving to their nephew's house. And they're distributing food to their family members right now. There are thousands, tens of thousands of aunties right now, as we speak, on the road, headed to a church to collect food to distribute to their family.
True that.
There are tens of thousands of African American men also doing the same thing. And also, if you're on the East Coast, we got plenty of uncles who are right now driving down to North Carolina, connecting with the fam, because damn near every one of us from D.C., Maryland, Virginia, we really all come from North Carolina, Virginia. We all from there. Everybody came up here during the Great Migration. So everybody right now, dear me, 20s, all our uncles down south, 30s. Down Carolina right now, down there on them private lands that we done own, or on our friends' land, getting deer meat.
People even understand that why there's so many black people up north. They left the Great Migration because of the floods down here like 100 years ago. That's why there's so many black people in Michigan, Ohio, places like that.
And bringing that thing up to D.C. and distributing it.
We're in the South. We're stuck in the South.
That's something that's happening. It's like a vein within the African American community that continues to flow and bring oxygen to keep us going. These are things that we don't even talk about, but these are things that every single family got an uncle in North Carolina bringing up dead meat. or waiting for the uncle down in North Carolina to bring up dead meat. Or waiting for the phone call.
Literally,
every single one of us are waiting for the watermelons to come.
Well, dear me,
to be right, and we're gonna go down in Carolina or to Virginia. We're gonna get out our portion. Every one of us are waiting for it. Every one of us got aunties out here getting all the vegetables. We got all the beans. Every African American house has a drawer full of beans that's just been sitting there for years.
We do.
While Europeans that's just getting to this idea of prepping as a
they thought prepping is new. Like white people got into prepping in like the 90s. That ain't nothing new. We've been prepping for 100 years.
Apocalypse, how they see it. African people have been prepping. We don't call it prepping. We just live. It's just part of our community. Every African American house, I don't care who house it is, has a drawer that got an insane amount of beans that got one person want to eat, but we know it's dead during hard times. And on top of them beans, we got rice. We know it's dead and we tired of rice. And on top of that, we got elbow noodles, we got spaghetti noodles, and we tired of that shit too. And it's just packing up. On top of that, we got a pantry full of corn, peas, green beans, split peas, carrots, and every type of canned good. Even though we know canned good, fresh vegetables are always the best, but we got them canned goods. We're gonna survive. Every single African American house right now, as food prices are going up, have been doing nothing but stocking and stocking and stocking and stocking. And Auntie's been knocking on doors, giving us bags and bags and bags of food. And we ain't been going to the clubs. We ain't been buying no Hennessy. Nope. We ain't been buying no pay-per-views. Everybody has automatically on code. We all, as black people, have been utilizing the African American austerity measures that we all know as a community we need to do. We've all tightened our purse strings, our wallets, and we bring in as much food within our houses every single day, every which way we can, that to get ready for the inevitable. And every one of our black males who somehow get food stamps when they ain't supposed to have it, right? Or
that's one thing I disagree with them on. I don't know anybody on fucking food stamps.
About females who get a bunch of money on their food stamp that ain't supposed to have it. Every one of them right now within the African American community are selling their food stamps to people who need the money. That's what we do. So when I hear people talk about the Somalis and the way they do the food stamps, I understand that. And I guarantee you, if some African Americans say you better go down to the office, get them food stamps, the government give you some food stamps so you can feed your family. We don't care. Okay? Because if the government can do it, these corporations just keep getting free money from the government. If they keep stealing shit, taking our money to go bomb this, to go bomb that, to rich white men in suits, we can take advantage of the system the best way we can and get them goddamn stamps.
I think we take advantage of the system
that goddamn independent card. And there's plenty of people who done took advantage of the system, that take advantage of them, got them goddamn independence cards, and they out there getting 2-to-1 sales, and so that people can go in the grocery store and all they had is $100. They buy $100 from that one individual. They got $500 worth of food stamps, and they can stock their refrigerator up for their family. That's what's happening in the black community every single day. We not wasting nothing. We not.
Why is everybody smoking alarm chirping recently? Everybody's battery died at the same time.
Gristle on the bone. We boiling chicken bones and making chicken stock. That's what we do. We don't even have to talk about it. We just watch everybody else suffering, crying, whine. We ain't talking about nothing. Our house is going to be warm, right? We're going to have food in our bellies.
75, baby.
It may not be the best food. We're going to have food in our bellies.
Keep it on 75 all day.
Right? We're going to have meat. We're going to have vegetables. We're going to have tables. Our kids going to eat. And that's just how we are. And there's nothing within the system of America, outside of a catastrophic civil war, completely, civilization ending.
We can do it all already with slavery.
That's going to shake the African American community.
Are you stupid? You can break us
because we are people. When it comes to food,
whips and chains can't even break us. Man, this is nothing. Like that's why I laugh. Man, white people think this is hard times. You're gonna struggle.
Play that shit. We not just eating peanut butter goddamn sandwiches. All right, every goddamn. We not doing that. We gonna eat. That's one thing we gonna do as African Americans. We gonna eat. Our kids gonna eat. One way or another. Right? So I just wanted to say, I love the African American community for that. And it ain't just the church. You see the madrasas doing the same thing. The black ones. They out here passing out turkeys, have food drives and shit and things like that. You see, it doesn't matter what religion. The Muslim madrasas are doing the same thing in those communities that they live in, that they serve as Muslims. Even the daggone Hebrew Israelites, as wrong as I believe their philosophy is, because it's all Abrahamic, right? They out here doing exactly the same thing. In between them dabbing about stuff, fairy tales, they step out into the communities, right? And they feed their community. They connect themselves to the churches, the madrasas, the churches, the Hebrew Israelites, all these Christians, Muslims, and these Jews. If they black, guess what? They all work together economically to feed the community. We do that. We don't praise it. We don't put it online, but the shit's happening. All right. So the black community in America is going to be fine. That's why we sitting back chilling. That's why we sitting back doing our thing. We just, we can't go on that cruise.
Will you ever Kush come out here panicking? Oh no, this is the end. Fascism is here. Man, I'm chilling, motherfucker. Do all the racist comments you want. Won't affect me at all.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not a tragedy. We'll go next year. Right? We can't buy that thing for Christmas this year. That's okay.
Oh no.
We'll get it at
not even celebrate Christmas. Don't celebrate
every single one of our aunties and grandmamas and mommies and sisters are snipping every coupon there is and getting every deal, stacking deal on top of deal. We all going to Costco's and BJ's and we stacking up. We not playing. We not missing no deals. We ain't missing no 70, 80% off. Nothing. We're on it.
It's like
there's no missing it because we're going to make sure we squeeze the water out of the rock that we call this economy because we're going to get ours. because these are the things that we've had to do as African Americans because we've had the whole system against us. Therefore, we are unified as a group.
We don't care about any of this shit.
We do work together economically and socially.
System's always been against us. How is this any different?
It's just that now we need to work economically and socially to do a little bit more than surviving, but to thrive, to take it to the next level. And that's kind of like the next step that we need to take. But I just want you Europeans to know that's what we're doing. That's why we're chilling. That's why while you guys are out here crying and stuff, we're not crying, we're just surviving. Because we ain't got no more tears. We don't got time for that. We've been crying too long.
No tears.
We ain't got no more.
I might leave No Tears by Scarface in the descriptions.
You gotta eat. We cry later. All right? So anyway, you guys tell me in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something. Tizo. I'm out.
All right, guys. I enjoyed this immensely. I'm sure it pissed a lot of people off. I couldn't care less. Once again, do something about it. Anyways, that wraps it up. Let's just put a bow on this. That's why black people are not panicking or crying or bitching like white people are in this economy, because we've never had it good. You got to understand that. We've been through the whips and chains. If that couldn't break us, I don't think a bad economy can. We've been through the Great Depression, been through all of that shit, and survived it all. So Europeans, good luck. You want to push everybody away, treat everybody else like shit, talk shit about black people, shit on us, call us stupid, violent, criminals. And now one day when you really need us, we're not going to be there. We'll be taking care of each other. Good luck. You're going to need it.